Greetings on this Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026, to this week's edition of Trade Theory. This is Kevin Jefferson, the curator of Trade Theory here. This is the dollar index, and price has fallen to almost right at our daily support level that we placed on the 27th of January 26. So price has bounced off of that quite nicely and actually approaching an internal area of resistance roughly around the 97.865 area. So the 97.865 area could be an aggressive entry point to continue to short the dollar. I would say that which is a fair entry point. An even more conservative entry point would be at 99.022, which would be the daily resistance that was set also on the 27th, which was more of an estimation, like I said, because of based on where I thought price would stall out. It obviously hadn't hit this at this time, so this could be a little bit higher, but I'm still expecting it to be a solid place to potentially short the dollar again. So we see that price is starting to move in alignment with what we projected. Okay, we're going to move on to Tesla here real quick. Tesla has interestingly it started to fall, and it's actually the daily support level is going through the 4-hour support, which we talked about, and it's become resistance, and so now we're almost at the daily support level. If we get here, we're observing to take to add to our long position on Tesla. So we're looking at targeting 405.97 as a potential entry area. We will also observe to see if that support level holds and the price closes below 385.93, then we'll be preparing for sell trades and shorting Tesla. So we're in between now and looking for a buy currently. All right, NVIDIA has started to taper off as well. It is going through, it's hit our 4-hour support, 4-hour resistance level back from the 1st of January and starting to move pretty well. So what we're seeing is downside activity. I haven't set any targets yet, but price is starting to fall. We're going to see what happens once it gets to our 4-hour support that we set on the 12th of January to see if that holds up or not. If it doesn't hold, I expect price, if it closes below 171.24, I'm awaiting a pullback to see if that is just a rejection or if it's a continuation shorter, and then we'll place some price targets after that. So we're in between. Bitcoin has hit our take profit level and actually gone further than where we projected. So our entry hypothesis was hit obviously back around the 14th of January, and then our take profit was hit roughly around the 19th of the 29th of January. So about 2 weeks to play out, but we've hit profit in that. And so we're going to watch that and see if we get another pullback and a potential to short again, or if price is going to reverse on us. All right. Now WTI Crude has turned around on us, so I guess it got to a point to where there was enough supply. There was enough demand to drive prices higher. So that short hypothesis would have been knocked out. So now we're looking for a pullback and a potential buy on WTI Crude. Like I said, we have unemployment numbers on Friday of this week, or they're supposed to be on Friday of this week, and so we'll wait for the news to shake out, and then we'll make an assessment for next week. All right, going to gold. Gold, as everyone knows, has pulled back pretty significantly. I guess it saw that the 4-hour pullback point that we placed on the 6th of January, which would have been raised a little bit because of the way price moves so high, but I guess it came back to revisit that level. But it is definitely showing that there's a lot of strength in gold. So we're going to watch that over the coming days and see how this plays out. If it gives us another opportunity, which I expect to come back and get in at this lower point. So we're not going to get in now. If we didn't buy in down when price pushed down lower, we're going to wait for another opportunity to get in on gold. All right, and then moving on to the Dow 30. The Dow is touched our 4-hour pullback point that we set on the 12th of January, and it's kind of hustling right here. It's decelerating, but it is still bullish. So we want to be mindful that price can continue to go higher on the Dow Jones. So don't get caught up in trying to sell at the top of the market. We're just going to let price play out. The 4-hour pullback point was a place to add to your position. We're going to watch that and see what happens here, because clearly price is starting to stall out and wait on some type of news or information before it makes its next direction. NASDAQ 100, the NASDAQ has started to decelerate. It's pulling back as well, but it has reached, I would consider this a double top because price has pushed slightly higher, but I wouldn't be surprised if price pulls back first to our 4-hour pullback point from the 6th of January. 24,676 is that 4-hour pullback point that we're looking at, and then possibly down to the daily pullback point from the 12th of January at 23,927.10. So we're watching this. Price is still bullish, so we're looking for this pullback to potentially take a buy. If price closes below 24,007.6, then we'll await price action to see if we want to be able to sell or short the NASDAQ. But right now we're looking to buy, but we're waiting for an efficient entry point, so we're going to let price start to pull back for us. All right, and wrapping it up with the S&P 500 here, price has started to push up against a resistance point as well. It is still bullish. Price is still bullish, so do not let this give you the indication that you need to be selling the market, because price is still moving higher. We're just looking for maybe a little bit more of a pullback before getting in, maybe around the 6850.7. We don't know. I do have a daily pullback point set for 65, roughly 65, 95, 55. So we're going to see what price does here. Similar to all the others, are probably waiting on some news. So that's the recap for today, guys. Stay safe out here. A lot of activity, a lot of volatility, and I hope you have a successful trading week. Until next time, happy trading.